you're having trouble slicing the ball, do the opposite. You're coming outside in with a slightly open club face, which is causing the ball to start left and curve to the right for a right-handed golfer. Okay, so we have to do the opposite. But before we get into that, I just want to explain the clock on the ground. So we have a few numbers and some lines. So this white line in front of me here with the arrow is the target line, and that's the neutral line. So from 6 directly to 12 is neutral. Everything over here to the right, or where I'm going to stand as a right-handed golfer, is the inside. So all the high numbers, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, those are all the inside. The outside is everything on this side to the left, all the lower numbers, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Okay? So inside and outside. So a slicer tends to come from the outside in with an open club face. So in other words, they go back, let's say they have a perfect backswing, but on the way down, they're getting the club to work outside that white line towards the 5 with a slightly open club face. So the club face is pointed out that way, or even more towards the sky, as it enters the ball, swinging down the red line from 5 and then across the ball to 11. And you can see it's exiting a little lower to the left, across my body. Okay, so now you have to do the opposite to fix it. So we want to make sure, as we do this, we're going to rehearse a couple of things. We're going to make our perfect backswing, and we're going to actually allow the club to fall down to the 7 o'clock position, but we're also going to make sure that our lead wrist is actually pointed down to the ground, which allows the club face to close down. If it's pointed up to the sky, you can see how that changes the club face. It points this way. The more I get the left wrist to go downwards, it's going to be closed. So our goal is to feel like the club face is pointing down to the ground and following more of the yellow or the inside track from 7 to 1. And then we allow the club to release over and point a little toward the ground over here. So first things first, let's rehearse this. So we'll go to the top of our backswing, we'll make a little pumping action. We'll feel the club fall, point the face to the ground. We'll go, this is number 1. Number 2, we're going to do the same thing. We're going to allow our weight to shift, our arms to fall, and the club face to point to the ground. There's number 2, and we're following this yellow track here. And then number 3 is we're going to allow the club to fall, we're going to shift, and we're going to let the club swing out towards 1 o'clock. Now this is going to be a little extreme and cause the ball to curve more to the left. So it's going to start a little right and curve to the left. We want to do the opposite first in an extreme manner so that we get rid of those slices. Okay? So again, we're going to go to the top, allow the club face to fall, or the club to fall, arms to fall, and the club face to point down to the ground at the 7, and follow that yellow track towards 1 o'clock. And after doing that a few times, you get the hang of it, try to hit one and see if you can get it to curve. It should curve relatively far to the left. Okay? Now maybe the driver isn't the best club to start doing this with. Even if you're slicing the driver, maybe start with a 7-iron and come down and rehearse this here. We call this the pump drill. So what we did before is down to the ground, let the arms fall. Down to the ground, let the arms fall. So club face to the ground, arms are falling. And then number 3, we're going to swing through out to 1. So you can see we did the opposite. So next time you're having trouble slicing the golf ball, remember to do the opposite. So instead of swinging with an open club face from 5 to 11, try to allow the club face to close before you hit the golf ball down here at the 7 zone and swing from 7 to 1. That should correct your slice, help you hit it longer and straighter than you ever have.